Hello, my name is David. Ooh, not my name, not my full name, not my full name, not my full name. Hello, my name is David, and I'm the owner of Mana and Maple, and I do all of my work for my website and this channel and my Instagram out of this teeny tiny shop, which is only a stall, maybe a stall and a half of a 2-car garage. There's a couple things that I'm unhappy with the layout of what I have here, and this hasn't changed since I was doing this as a hobby and not necessarily as a business. But my needs have grown beyond what I have available to me. The biggest problem that I have is my table saw is here, and that may be all well and good. It's been doing me well for a couple of years now. I think I've had it for 5 or 6 years. It is a rigid, and I'd like to get a new one day, but it's just not in the budget. It's very hard for me to get 8-foot boards that direction. One, this table right here is too low, and it is a different height than those tables right over there. This table actually is my dresser that we had a changing table on for my son. Just repurposed for the garage. The other problem that I have is this direction is a rolling rack that was originally supposed to be for projects and things that I make, but has grown beyond the scope of what I intended to, and definitely grown beyond the scope of what the wheels on it were intended to hold. So I need to rework this. This is my antique, been in the family for 150 years dresser that I'm using as a workstation for my CNC. I think I need to get this out of the garage. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, but I don't think it deserves to be in here. That is a disservice to my family in the long run. There are pictures of this inside the houses of the last 4 generations of my house, or my family, and I kind of want to get back into that, so this is probably going to move out of the garage. With that being said, I think I'm going to move my X-Carve out of this space as well, and create an actual table for it that is all-encompassing, that allows me to have windows into it to see it, but also keeps it in an enclosed space. Right now it's sitting on a table that is ever so slightly undersized for it, and that makes for imprecise CNC work overall. I'm actually really happy with this backside of my shop. My tool wall is not the best organized, but it's very plainly organized and allows me to see everything that I need in the shop, from power tools to measuring tools to cutting tools to all of my drill bits and my screw guns and nail guns, and all down here, all of my fasteners and things, and on this, everything that I need in the shop, from power tools to measuring tools to cutting tools to all of my drill bits and my screw guns and nail guns, and all down here, all of my fasteners. On this wall over here, we can see hammers and all the other things that I made, some of my cheap chisels, the things that I use for cleaning up glue in a rough way, which are different than my nice chisels, because I found that if I use my nice chisels for that, I do more sharpening overall and wear them out faster. But yeah, this is all doing really good. I don't really enjoy this shelf, it's way too cluttered, but I do enjoy the shelves that I have up here because it takes some of my other projects. The shelves up inside here take some of my other projects that I'm not necessarily working on right now, such as all my D&D terrain, my custom, all my crafting supplies for terrain building, some of my epoxies, my glue guns, and chemicals that I don't necessarily need to have in the shop or on in the miter station needs a little bit of work as well. This is another rigid. I'd like to get a nicer one, but again, it's not in the budget, so it just doesn't happen. This table and this addition are roughly at the same level as this. I'd like to get it more leveled. I'd like to get a dedicated dust shield for this. I have a hose hooked up to this and a dedicated shop vac that just pulls in the dust, but as you can see, chop saws are messy. and they create a lot of dust regardless of how well this is sucking out right here. This all needs to get redesigned, and we'll start off doing that soon. This is the first rack for holding wood that I ever bought, and I don't like it. This space right inside here was for plywood, but what that does is actually makes this really hard to access, this really hard to access, and this really hard to access. And if I'm not using things, like these are old folding bifold doors from inside my house that we replaced that I've just never gotten rid of. If I don't move those out of the way, I can't access some of the stuff that's inside there, so this needs to get redesigned as well. This is my main work table, and I'm in the middle of a couple different projects here. You can see like an old table. This is my grandmother's table, and when she died, everyone wanted to give it away, and I couldn't, so I kept it, and I'm going to turn it into a D&D table, specifically with like a drop surface and some hidden compartments and things. This is another project I'm working on. It's a low window to catch sunlight for my solar kiln that I have outside of the house. And as you can see, it's really cluttered. And what I'm running into right now is I just have too much going on and not enough places to put things, or not enough sensible places to put things. So one of the things that I'm going to do in this, oh, the broom's in the shot. One of the things that I'm going to do in this is rearrange and build better things to hold my excess wood, because that's really what's stacking up. Is like all woodworkers, I don't throw away wood, but my criteria is it's got to be longer than 2 feet, and even then I still have lots of wood. So much wood. So we're gonna get that done today. No, scratch that. We're not gonna get that done today. We're gonna get that started today. I don't think I'm gonna finish this in a full day. Well, it's been about 3 days since I last shot video in my shop, and I have rearranged in those 3 days everything about it, except for this Raycon air filtration system, which I do not feel like moving at this moment in time. So the rolling rack that used to be over in that direction and created a wall and cast half the garage into darkness because it was there, that did not roll anymore. I took off its wheels and I affixed to the wall over here. This is where the CNC used to be. I think it does a much better job over here. This is probably where I should have had it in the first place, but I didn't feel like moving the CNC. I took my table saw from this space right here, and it is actually closer to where the camera is. Actually just underneath where the camera view is. And I took the table that the CNC was on and built that. I took the dresser that was over here opposite the table saw, and I put the CNC on top of that, as well as like a little structure that I built to go around that dresser. And then this is my old 4-foot workstation and a 2-foot workstation put together for a 6-foot by 4-foot table. I kind of like the flow of this better, as well as the flow of having essentially a 4-foot by 5-foot table over here. The CNC moved over here. It is on a much larger space, and I built it long enough so I could hide. I don't know if I've ever shown it in a video, but I have a 5 cubic foot cement mixer because I own a home, and housing projects are a pain in the butt to mix cement without a mixer, and I was sick of renting one from the big box store. So I built this table. The old dresser is underneath, and I think that this is a better use for it as a stable base for this guy right over here, which I will be showing some videos for in the near future. The table saw, as you can see, is over here. I have a much deeper cut range than I used to, and I think that worked out really well. Over there, this is my chop saw. It had a temporary shelf over here that, moved around a bunch and wasn't really what I was looking for. So I scrapped a bunch of lumber, scrapped a bunch of things, and built this as a quick fix. It is doing well. This is level and this is level, so across here I actually have a solid 7.5 feet on this side, and then I think about 8 or 9 feet that direction that I can have stuff on. I'm not going to use all of that, but eventually I will get a backer board that is in line with this fence line here all the way down, so I can get accurate measurements every single time instead of screwing directly into my tabletop. Yeah. This is my old plywood storage, as well as some racks. And earlier in the video, you saw how dark and how unable to access everything in here I was able. I have moved all of my plywood and long stuff storage over that direction, actually next to where the big sorting rack and big shelving system is for all my wood projects. And as you can see, this is all oak floors. We ripped up our oak floors last June and July of 2024, and we kept 900 square feet of oak floors because, I mean, oak is expensive. So I'll be doing some videos where I'm just doing time lapses of me breaking this down into something that's more manageable for a wood shop. And I'll probably talk about campaign things over that. Use that as a backdrop to talk about TTRPG campaigns, because this is actually a channel about TTRPG accessories, Dungeons and Dragons accessories, Daggerheart accessories, Draw Steel accessories, but I'm in prototyping phase and I'm not really comfortable filming my prototyping phase because it is messy. It is so messy and chaotic. Oh, it's so chaotic. So we'll start off with some processing oak flooring time-lapse videos to get the ball rolling. So I think that's my first video. That's the first thing that I think I'm going to put up on my channel. And so if you're watching this and you're still here, thanks for watching this. I think it's completely uninteresting video, but it really was there to like help me figure out camera shots and you know, what zoom levels I need on the camera I have before it completely cuts off my head. So you just see like my mouth and below, which was really weird. But from here on out, we can start getting to what I want to do on this channel, which is showcase woodworking. I want to showcase making TTRPG accessories and the process behind that, as well as do a little bit of world building and campaign construction over time-lapsing videos. So I look forward to the next time I upload. I hope you do too. And if you are interested in what I may have to offer into the future, like and subscribe.